Hey! Wait, before we get started, I don't know who needs to hear this, but this has been a very challenging time, and you are doing the very best that you can. And I am so proud of you. It's so good to see you. It's been a really long time. And for those of you who don't know me, it's been a really long time. Hi, I'm Lisa Joan, and I like to do stuff. And what better time to do stuff than during a global pandemic? Am I right? As you can probably tell by the title, I'm going to be painting an accent wall in my office. Now, for those of you who know me, I know what you're thinking. Lisa, you quit your job, and then you quit school. What do you need an office for? To paint it. So I've done this project before. In my last apartment, actually, I painted an accent wall in my living room. And then when I moved out, I ran for the hills so my landlord wouldn't find out. But no, in all seriousness, if you are a renter, you're probably going to want to get your landlord's permission before you go ahead and paint. That's what I did with mine, and he said, oh, sure, go for it. I mean, stick to earth tones, but other than that, you're fine. Oops. It's not my fault, okay? I wanted living coral because that was the hottest color in 2019, and the guys at Rona were like, what's coral? So that's how I ended up with a hot pink wall. But don't worry, if this does happen to you, there's an easy solution. You just put on your problem-solving cap, you move out, and then you start again on one of your parents' walls. Oh, just to explain, I moved back in with my parents.
32-year-old lady.
Jenna Marbles, I miss you. Oh, just a side note, for those of you who don't live with your parents, just beware. This morning I was having coffee with them, and that's when they broke the news that they wanted to give away one of my favorite childhood toys to the neighbors. Now it's time for one of my favorite segments, Read a Letter from a Fan. I love this part. And they said I wouldn't use it ever again. I wonder what it says. Oh, here we go. Dear Lisa, I would love to paint an accent wall in my office. How do I do it? What do I need? Well, fan, it's good to hear from you. And what a coincidence that you write this letter on the same day that I'm about to show you how to paint an accent wall. Here we go. Hello and welcome back. All right, so we have the space set up, we're ready to go. I've got my overalls on and I'm ready to paint. I am so excited. Whee! Okay, so the very first thing I did when I came back into the space was make sure I moved all the furniture away from the wall that we're going to be painting, which is this one here. You know, I like to play it better safe than sorry and not overestimate my painting skills, and always prepare for a random burst of spontaneous desire to throw paint around the room. So by moving everything away from the wall, you protect it a little bit in that circumstance. Okay, so now we get to move on to the fun part, which is designing what shapes we want to paint on our wall. Ooh. All right, so here's the completed look, all prepped and ready to be painted. I went ahead and laid down the tarps right up against the wall so I could protect the carpet, and I also took off the outlet cover so I didn't have to worry about taping that to protect that from the paint as well. Hey, get out of here! Stop. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with my gold spray paint. That's right, I picked gold as one of my colors, and it's actually hard to find in a can. So I went and bought some spray paint. And I've actually never used spray paint on a wall before. So just give me 1 second to read the instructions. Okay, I think I got it. The first thing it says to do is make sure you're using it in a well-ventilated area. So I've gone ahead and kicked my cats out of the room, and let me just open the window. Okay, so I've done one layer, and it's getting a little fumey in here, so let's take a break, let it air out, and then we'll do another layer. After further consideration, I highly suggest you wear a mask and have fans. Opening a window is not enough for the ventilation. You're going to need to spray paint a wall. Okay? Please be safe. Okay, so it's been about 5 or 6 layers. I have stopped counting. My lungs are lined with gold, and my finger is so sore I can no longer press the button on the spray can. So I wouldn't recommend using spray paint for a large surface like the one I am trying to paint. It's a lot harder than using regular wall paint. Live and learn. So unfortunately we're losing light and I'm losing brain cells. So why don't we call it a night and we'll come on back tomorrow and finish the other 2 triangles on our wall. See you then. Hi, and welcome to day 2 of our project. And hopefully the last day. I'm really excited because today we're going to be opening up our cans of paint to complete the other 2 shapes of our accent wall. I'm going to start with the top shape, which is a nice rose color, and the very first thing I'm going to do is go over the border of the shape using a brush. I do this because I have a little bit more control over it, and I want to be very careful not to get paint where I don't want it. For example, the ceiling. Otherwise, it's a real mess to clean up. Let's go. It's time to fill in our shapes with our rollers. And now we wait. All right, first coat's done, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish it off. And our second coat is done. Okay, it's the moment of truth. Whew! Thank you so much for joining me. This was a real blast. Was it perfect? No, not even close. Was it a lot better than the last time I tried? Yeah, significantly actually. And that's the cool thing about DIY. You learn new skills, try something new. You know, we're not expected to be experts. So I want you to think about that project that you've been putting on hold because of that stupid little voice that's saying, you can't do that, or you're not good enough. Screw that. Go out and do it and have the best time of your life. I know, that's a bold statement, and I mean it. Bye.